So there was a lot of fireworks this week at the county commissioners meeting, and Stale and I were there covering the meeting, and I think we left too early. Katie, we went out to do a report, and everything just goes to pot. What happened? We just walked out for a few minutes.
Honestly, I was very blindsided, and I even said that on the dais. Commissioner Goodson brought up that there were some legal concerns about the workshop. And
they had said nothing to you before then about this.
Well, the county manager and the county attorney basically said to me that it was there was a possibility that people could bring stuff up that was not allowed to be talked about. And so what my direction to them at the time was, I frankly, I don't care. That's what we have an attorney for. So, police it if we need to. And so they didn't say to me, oh, well, the other commissioners were going to tell them that we need to axe this workshop. They didn't say, we're going to see what the rest of the commission thinks. They didn't say anything to make me feel like they would be directing, or not directing, but suggesting that one of the commissioners cancel this workshop.
So was this intentional?
I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it definitely felt that way. And that's why I said it right there on the dais. I felt blindsided. And frankly, the whole point of this was to bring the citizen input into the conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's you and your family that have to be the people who are affected by the fire department not being funded properly.
So do you think that they did not want, or they were scared of the citizen input?
I think that, there were probably going to be a lot of facts put out that maybe they didn't want so public. Maybe they were nervous of what the citizens were going to say.
You can't trust those citizens.
Right. And, right. They were worried about the firefighters, but the thing that I've tried to make really public and clear was, and I've said it on here over and over again, this workshop was not just for the firefighters. This workshop was for the citizens, the rest of the citizens, to come out and tell us what their thoughts were about this firefighter situation.
Which is the way that it's supposed to be, right? This is not just the government handling it.
Right.
The citizens are supposed to be involved in this process, right?
And their point was that we aren't supposed to be talking about negotiations. Well, my point was talking about a philosophy of a schedule, because that was my first bullet point on the agenda, was talking about the cost out of Kelly Days or 24/72 schedule. Nowhere did I say that I want to talk about negotiating for those things. I just want to know what it's going to cost. And I think that the citizens deserve to know what it's going to cost as well. And so why can't we talk about that?
This doesn't look good, does it?
No, it doesn't. And there were firefighters that came out just absolutely disappointed after that meeting. And, they came by and they told us, they canceled this really important meeting. And I know that they were saying that they had negotiations the next day. Have you heard anything about that?
So they had mediation the next day, and I don't know the specifics, but what I do know is that it didn't go well. There was no,
of course not.
There was nothing that was agreed upon, which, frankly, I told our county manager that was what was going to happen if our fire department didn't get some kind of guarantee of some kind of work-life balance. And the reason why they need a guarantee is because they've been promised this for so long. And after so many times, you just can't take it anymore.
So just to put it in perspective, a lot of the firefighters are being forced to work overtime.
Right.
And some of them are going 48 hours back to back. I mean,
right.
22 shifts back to back, right? And they can't go home. They are forced to work.
Exactly.
And this is a result of the fact that they're running short.
Right.
Right. So are we getting to the point that we're going to find ourselves, because this is similar to what was happening in LA, right, before the fires. Are we at a point where that could possibly happen here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's terrifying that we have put our citizens in this situation. I am very frustrated that we could stop this today. We could stop this tomorrow. We could have stopped it yesterday.
Why has it not stopped? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why has it not stopped?
For whatever reason, our county manager doesn't understand that until the firefighters have a guarantee, they're not going to come out of the impasse process. And for whatever reason, my other, fellow board members, they don't realize that either. So I did get a executive session scheduled for the 28th after the commission meeting. So at least there we could talk about what can we offer the firefighters. So hopefully now that we've passed mediation and it didn't go well, hopefully we can get some real solutions.
So what can the citizens do at this point to stay engaged? There were some people who wanted to come to this workshop. We're looking forward to it. What can they do?
I really hope that people come out to the 28th commission meeting and not only please bring what you were going to bring to the workshop, but also let the commission know about how you feel about the canceled workshop, because I think that's really important.
And I think everyone should bring Commissioner Goodson some Snicker bars because he seems very unhappy lately, and maybe he's been hangry. So his attitude towards this whole thing was very, yes.
The other day, I mean, he got a little angry at you, right?
He did, and I'm not too worried about Commissioner Goodson. I think that at the end of the day, I think he means well, but I think that he's frustrated that I don't mind the meetings going a little longer to talk through things and to make sure that the citizens have a full understanding of what's going on. And I think that he wants to just get over with the meeting. And my thing is I sat on the sidelines all these years watching politicians whisper to each other on the dais, and I made a commitment. I'm not going to do that. And that's why I said to him, if you're going to say something to me, say it into the microphone.
We missed it, Stale. We left before the fireworks started.